Hey everyone, it's Tzayla and welcome back to Off Key and On Pitch, your backstage pass to the unfiltered world of music. Today's episode is for all of my fellow music makers out there, especially the ones writing songs in their bedrooms, dreaming big, and wondering what it really takes to make it in this industry. Making music is beautiful, it's healing, it's magical. But if you ever want to scale your artistry, step beyond your bedroom, and be taken seriously as a professional, you have to understand the business side of music. There's no way around it. Because here's the truth. Not knowing how the industry works doesn't just hold you back. It can actually hurt you. You could sign the wrong contract, lose the rights to your own songs, or spend years building something that someone else ends up owning. And the worst part? Most of the time, artists don't even realize until it's way too late. But the flip side, knowing this stuff gives you power. It helps you protect your music, your voice, and your future. It's not about being greedy or paranoid, it's about honoring the art you've made and keeping control of where it goes. So this episode is called Music Business 101. And no, it's not boring. It's life-changing, okay? And we're going to break it all down. So no confusing jargon, no suits and cigars, just me talking to you. So let's get into it. Part 1. Your song is your baby. Think about this. Your song, that melody and those words, it's like your baby. You created it. You nurtured it. It's yours. But here's the catch. In the music world, if you're not careful, someone else can grab your baby, change its name, put it in a weird outfit, and send it off somewhere, all without you. That's what happens when you don't own your music properly. There are two kinds of ownerships you need to know about: composition rights and master rights. Composition rights are like the blueprint, the melody and lyrics that make the song yours. Master rights are the actual recording, the version of the song that people listen to, the one that's out in the world. If you wrote and recorded the song yourself, you likely own both. But owning doesn't mean much unless you make it official. That means registering your songs with the right organizations and protecting those rights legally. Otherwise, you could lose control without even realizing it, and we'll talk a bit more about that later. Part 2. PROs, publishing, and how you get paid. Okay, now we get into the part where many artists get lost. The money side. You know that moment when your song plays on the radio, or in a coffee shop, or in someone's YouTube video? You're supposed to get paid for that. But how does that money actually find its way to you? Well, here's the deal. You have to register with the Performing Rights Organization, or PRO for short. Those are the folks who collect your money on your behalf when your music is played publicly. In the US, the big ones are ASCAP, BMI, and CSAC, which by the way is invite only. But if you're outside the US, other countries have their own PROs as well, like SOCAN in Canada or PRS in the UK. When you join a PRO, it's super important that you register yourself both as a writer and as a publisher. This affects how much money comes your way. It might sound technical, but trust me, it matters. And you should register every single song right away, like as soon as it's done, before you upload it, before you play it live, even before you show it to your dog. Because if it's not registered, that money might never find you, and it will just sit there on the table. Part 3. Splits, contracts, and how not to get screwed. Now let's say you wrote a song with a couple of friends. Maybe one person helped with the chords, another sang harmony, and you wrote the lyrics. Well, how do you figure out who owns what part? This is where a split sheet comes in. I know it might sound awkward or even a little untrusting, but it's actually the kindest and most respectful thing you can do. A split sheet is just a simple piece of paper that says, okay, I wrote this part, you wrote that part, and they wrote this part. Everyone agrees on percentages while everything's calm and friendly before any money or fame hits. Because trust me, once the streams start rolling in and money shows up, people's heads can change fast. And then there are contracts. If someone hands you a contract, whether it's a manager, a label, a producer, or even your cousin's cousin who has a camera crew, read it and take your time. Be sure to look for sneaky words like in perpetuity, because that means forever, or exclusive rights, which means you're locked in and cannot work with anyone else. And another red flag, if the contract says the label owns both your master recordings and your publishing rights, run the other way. If something feels off or someone pushes you to just trust me or sign quickly, hit pause. Get a music lawyer. I know, it sounds expensive, but trust me, it can save your entire career from disaster. Part 4, distribution, getting your music out there. So you finished your song, it's polished and ready. Now what? Well, you gotta get it out there on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, and everywhere else. And to do that, you need a distributor. Distributors act like your middleman, making sure that your music lands on all the streaming platforms. Some popular options are DistroKid, which is fast and cheap and great if you release often. I personally use DistroKid, quite enjoy it. Another one is CD Baby, which charges a one-time fee but has no yearly cost. TuneCore, which is pricier but solid, and newer services like Amuse or United Masters, which offer free plans but take a cut of your earnings. Most distributors don't take ownership of your music, which is exactly how it should be. But always read the fine print, because you never know what's lurking in the contract. Also, be aware of scams. If a company tells you to pay $50 just to be pitched to labels, that's a red flag. Legitimate opportunities don't work like that. Part 5, streams, dreams, and what the money actually looks like. All right, now let's talk cash. Streaming sounds great. Millions of streams, right? But the reality is, streaming doesn't pay as much as people imagine. On average, 1 million streams might earn you around $3,000 or $4,000, and that's if you're lucky. So if you're dreaming of quitting your day job just off of Spotify, well, that's probably not the full picture. This is where smart artists create multiple income streams. They play live shows, sell merch, license songs for movies, TV shows, and video games, build fan support on Patreon, teach music, or produce for others. Even hosting music blogs or podcasts can bring income. The goal is freedom to say yes or no to opportunities because you want to, not because you have to. Part 6, big picture thinking. Now let's zoom out and talk legacy. Don't just focus on viral hits or the next big moment. Think about what you're building. Is it a moment or a movement? Do you want to stay independent forever or maybe sign with a label down the road? Either way, owning your music means having options and control. And here's a perfect example, Taylor Swift. You've probably heard about her re-recording her albums and releasing Taylor's version. Why? Because when she first signed with Big Machine Records as a teenager, she didn't own her masters, the actual recordings. Later, those masters were sold without her consent to someone else. She didn't like that, not at all. So she took back control by re-recording all her old songs, releasing versions she actually owns. This way, fans can choose to support her version, and she makes sure the money goes directly to her. This is a powerful lesson for all of us. Owning your masters means you control how your music is used, licensed, and paid for. You get to decide if your song is in a commercial, a movie, or a game. You get to say yes or no and walk away if it doesn't feel right. So you don't have to be Taylor Swift to learn from her. Start smart, protect your rights, and build your legacy on your own terms. Now I know that was a lot, but you got through it. So remember, your song is your baby. Protect it by owning your composition and master rights, register with a PRO, use split sheets with collaborators, don't sign anything sketchy without reading it, pick a trustworthy distributor, and build multiple income streams. Think long term. Your legacy starts now. Not when you hit it big, but today, with every choice you make about your music and your career. If this episode helped you, please do me a favor, like, subscribe, and share it with your fellow music nerds. If you have questions or if there's something I mentioned today that you would like for me to do a deeper dive on, please leave a comment or DM me on Instagram at tzayla.official. I would absolutely love to hear from you. If you would like to check out more podcast episodes, read my music blog, listen to my music, or find links to my social media, you can find all this and more at tzayla.com, Tzayla.com. And if you take one more thing, just one more thing away from this episode, let it be this. You can keep your soul and share your song. You can protect your art and still dream crazy. So keep dreaming big. And remember, I'm Tzayla, and adventure sounds like this.